Ethan stared at the gleaming corner office, the panoramic city view a blur behind his unseeing eyes. The promotion had come, just as he'd meticulously planned for years. Senior Vice President. The title, the salary, the influence, everything he'd chased with relentless ambition since his early 20s. Yet, instead of the triumphant surge he'd always envisioned, a hollow ache resonated deep within him. He felt a profound disconnect, a chilling realization that the very summit he'd scaled had left him isolated, a stranger to the passionate, idealistic young man who'd once dreamed of changing the world, not just conquering the corporate ladder. The silence of the vast office amplified the emptiness, a stark contrast to the vibrant, collaborative energy he once thrived on. He had achieved everything, but lost something far more precious, himself. The question gnawed at him. Was this all there was? And if so, what was the point? We are often told that success lies in upward mobility, in titles and influence. We chase these external markers, believing they hold the key to fulfillment. But what happens when you reach the pinnacle, only to find a void where joy and purpose should be? When the very climb that defined you leaves you feeling adrift, disconnected from the essence of who you once were. This isn't a story of failure, but of a subtle, insidious form of suffering that often accompanies conventional success. It's the existential ache of realizing that the answer you sought was never in the next promotion, but in a deeper understanding of self and true value. Join us as we explore this profound disillusionment and discover how ancient wisdom offers a compassionate framework for navigating the paradox of achieving everything, yet feeling nothing. Sarah had always been a high flyer. From her early days as a bright-eyed marketing intern, her trajectory was clear, up. She thrived on challenges, the thrill of closing a big deal, the satisfaction of seeing her campaigns reshape market trends. Her colleagues admired her drive. Her superiors lauded her strategic mind. She worked tirelessly, often sacrificing weekends and personal relationships, fueled by the belief that each promotion, each new level of responsibility, would bring her closer to a profound sense of accomplishment and happiness. She envisioned a future where her influence would be undeniable, her impact transformative. By her late 40s, Sarah was a C-suite executive, a force to be reckoned with in the tech industry. She had the corner office, the seven-figure salary, the private jet for business trips. She was a keynote speaker at international conferences, her insights shaping industry discourse. From the outside, she was the epitome of success, a woman who had truly had it all. But behind the polished facade, a quiet despair was brewing. The thrill of the chase had long faded, replaced by an endless cycle of meetings, corporate politics, and the relentless pressure to deliver ever-increasing profits. The innovative spirit that once ignited her had been extinguished by layers of bureaucracy and risk aversion. She found herself making decisions that felt ethically compromised, pushing products she no longer believed in, and managing teams through metrics that dehumanized their efforts. The people she worked with were no longer collaborators in a shared vision, but cogs in a machine, or worse, rivals in a zero-sum game. Her personal life was a wasteland. Relationships had withered, hobbies had been abandoned, and the quiet moments she once cherished were now filled with the incessant hum of her phone, demanding attention. One evening, after another grueling 14-hour day, she found herself staring at her reflection in the darkened office window. The woman looking back was successful, powerful, influential, but she was also exhausted, cynical, and profoundly lonely. She barely recognized the vibrant, curious young woman who had started her career with such fierce optimism. The golden cage she had built for herself was suffocating her. The pinnacle of her career felt like a desolate peak, and the question that haunted Ethan now haunted her. Was this all there was? The answer, a chilling whisper from deep within, was a resounding, agonizing no. She had climbed to the top, only to find that the view was empty, and the person standing there was a stranger. Sarah's journey reflects a common, yet often unspoken, modern dilemma: the paradox of achieving conventional success only to find a profound sense of emptiness and disconnection. We are conditioned to believe that upward mobility, titles, and influence are synonymous with fulfillment. But what happens when the very pursuit of these external markers leads us away from our authentic selves, from the values that once ignited our passion? This isn't a story of failure, but of a subtle, insidious form of suffering that often accompanies the relentless climb up the corporate ladder. It's the existential ache of realizing that the answer we sought was never in the next promotion, but in a deeper understanding of self and true value. Ancient wisdom, particularly Buddhist philosophy, offers a powerful, compassionate lens to examine this disillusionment, not to dismiss ambition, but to redefine success and find a path towards inner peace and renewed purpose, even amidst the demands of the modern world. A Buddhist perspective: Sarah's experience of achieving career success while feeling an inner void is a classic manifestation of dukkha, suffering, arising from avidya, ignorance, of the true nature of happiness, and tanha, craving/clinging, to external achievements as the sole source of fulfillment. The core issue is the suffering that arises when our pursuit of worldly success leads to a disconnection from our authentic selves and a loss of inner vitality. The Four Noble Truths of Disillusioned Success. 1. The truth of suffering. Dukkha: the suffering is evident in Sarah's hollow ache, her exhaustion, cynicism, profound loneliness, and the feeling of being a stranger to her former self. This suffering arises from the gap between her expectation that career advancement would bring ultimate fulfillment and the reality of inner emptiness. It's the pain of a life lived out of alignment with one's deepest values. 2. The truth of the origin of suffering. Samadaya: the origin of this suffering lies in the clinging to the idea that external achievements, titles, money, influence, are the ultimate source of happiness and purpose. This craving is fueled by avidya, the ignorance of anicca, impermanence, of external rewards, and anatta, not self, as applied to our professional identity. We mistakenly believe that our worth and happiness are solely derived from our professional roles and accomplishments, and when these prove insufficient, we suffer. Societal conditioning and the relentless pursuit of growth also contribute to this suffering. 3. The truth of the cessation of suffering. Nirodha: the cessation of this suffering comes not from abandoning ambition, but from letting go of the craving for external validation as the primary source of happiness and the clinging to a purely material definition of success. It comes from accepting the impermanent nature of worldly achievements and finding peace in cultivating inner wisdom and genuine connection. It's about cultivating upekkha, equanimity, a balanced mind that understands that true fulfillment comes from within. 4. The truth of the path to the cessation of suffering. Magga: this path is the Noble Eightfold Path, which guides us in cultivating wisdom, ethical conduct, and mental discipline to navigate the complexities of modern life with integrity and inner peace, even amidst external demands. The Noble Eightfold Path to reclaiming your authentic self. Right view. Samadhi: this is the understanding that true fulfillment is not solely found in external achievements, but in inner peace, purpose, and connection. Right view helps Sarah see that her worth is inherent, not dependent on her title or salary. It's the understanding of interconnectedness, that her well-being is tied to her inner state, not just her external circumstances. Right intention. Samma Sakkappa: instead of the intention to constantly climb higher or accumulate more, the intention shifts to cultivating well-being, compassion, and wisdom. For Sarah, this means intending to reconnect with her core values, to seek work that aligns with her purpose, and to foster genuine relationships. Right speech. Samavaka. This involves speaking truthfully about her feelings and experiences, both to herself and to trusted others, without self-judgment or blame. It means articulating her true desires and boundaries, and engaging in communication that fosters connection and understanding, rather than just professional advancement. Right action. Samakamanta. This means taking actions that are wholesome and beneficial for her overall well-being, even if they deviate from the conventional path of career advancement. For Sarah, this might involve setting clear boundaries between work and personal life, re-engaging with hobbies and passions that bring her joy, seeking out roles or projects that align with her ethical values, prioritizing genuine human connection over networking. Right livelihood. Sama Ajiva. This involves reflecting on whether her current career truly supports her spiritual and emotional well-being. If the disconnect is too great, right livelihood might prompt her to seek a different career path or to redefine her current role to better align with her values, even if it means less conventional success. Right effort. Samavayama. This is the effort to prevent unwholesome states like cynicism, exhaustion, or loneliness from overwhelming her, and to cultivate wholesome states like joy, connection, and purpose. It's the effort to consistently bring awareness to her inner state and to gently redirect her mind towards constructive thoughts and actions. Right mindfulness. Samasati. This is the practice of being fully present with her inner experience, her feelings of emptiness, her longing for connection, her past passions. Sarah can observe these without judgment, allowing them to be, and using them as signals for what truly matters. This practice creates space for self-discovery and prevents her from being swept away by external pressures. Right concentration. Sama Samadhi. Through sustained mindfulness and right effort, Sarah can develop a deeper state of mental calm and focus. This allows her to gain clarity on her true priorities, to make decisions that are aligned with her authentic self, and to find inner peace that is independent of external achievements. Redefining success and reclaiming your soul. When the climb to the top leaves you feeling empty, the path forward is not about abandoning ambition, but about redefining success and reclaiming your authentic self. Here's how to navigate this profound realization. 1. Listen to the inner whisper. Pay attention to the subtle cues of dissatisfaction, the hollow ache, the feeling of disconnect. These are not signs of failure, but signals from your deeper self, guiding you towards what truly matters. Engage in practices like journaling, meditation, or quiet reflection to hear this inner voice. 2. Redefine success. Challenge conventional notions of success. What does true fulfillment look like for you? Is it more time with loved ones? Creative expression? Contributing to a cause you believe in? Define success on your own terms, not society's. 3. Reconnect with your core values. What were the passions and ideals that drove you before the corporate climb? Revisit them. Find ways to integrate them into your life, whether through your work, hobbies, or volunteer activities. This reestablishes a connection to your authentic self. 4. Practice mindful disengagement. Learn to create boundaries between your professional role and your personal identity. When you leave work, truly leave it. Engage fully in your personal life. Cultivate meaningful relationships and pursue activities that nourish your soul. 5. Embrace impermanence. Understand that titles, influence, and wealth are all impermanent. True security and happiness come from within. This understanding frees you from the relentless pursuit of external validation. 6. Seek genuine connection. Prioritize relationships that are built on authenticity and mutual support, not just professional networking. Share your vulnerabilities and allow others to see the real you. This can combat loneliness and foster a sense of belonging. 7. Cultivate self-compassion. Be kind to yourself during this process of reevaluation. It's a brave step to question a path you've invested so much in. Acknowledge your efforts and allow yourself the space to explore new possibilities without judgment. When the golden cage of success feels more like a prison, and the climb to the top leaves you breathless and empty, what is the true cost of your ambition? Is the void you feel a sign of failure, or a profound invitation to redefine your life's purpose? What if the greatest achievement isn't the next promotion, but the courageous journey back to the person you were always meant to be before the world told you who to become? The corporate world often demands relentless pursuit, but true wisdom lies in discerning when to pause, reflect, and courageously choose a path that nourishes your soul, even if it means stepping off the well-trodden road. If this message resonates with your own journey of success and self-discovery, share it with someone who might be silently navigating the paradox of having it all, yet feeling nothing. Let's build a community where true fulfillment is celebrated and the journey back to self is honored. Namaste.